Never going to be able to achieve peace if we're not able to hear everyone, all sides, when it comes to this issue.
Explain to people how you see oppression when the government of Israel said you could go to the West Bank.
You know, I grew up right now in the majority black city, and you know, African American teachers would tell me about communities they couldn't live in, communities where even their relationship, their marriages between black and white people wasn't even recognized, where they weren't allowed to work in certain places. There were separate lines, right? One for black residents, one for white residents. That is the pain of oppression and this othering, this kind of dehumanization solely based on the color of their skin, right? Solely based on the fact they were black in America. They were treated differently and treated less than. And again, that pain of kind of, you know, saying that you don't deserve human dignity, that you don't deserve access to opportunities the same as others, that is something that I bring with me. That's the lens that I grew up with growing up here. And in America, like, we talk about this all the time, of equality, of real true freedom. And that's what I mean. And they can interpret it in a different way, but in the long run, on the ground, as it's implemented, it is oppression, it is segregation of people, it is discriminatory, and it's racist.
Why the decision, though, not to accept that offer? Did the trip just not look like how you envisioned it? I mean, detail
it wouldn't
that.
be all of me. And there were demands of me to basically silence me. And my grandmother said, "You're a United States Congresswoman." My family, my uncle, everybody was like, "You're a United States Congresswoman. We wanted to celebrate you. There will be a dark cloud over you if you come with them forcing you to bow down. It's humiliating. Don't do it. Don't do it because you're a C-City." And she told me, she's like, "I won't take my last breath until I see you," and I believe her.
Can you talk about some of the demands that the government of Israel put on you? I mean, was there a last straw that you said, "I can't do this specific thing"?
Yeah, I think the fact that this letter was used to try to prevent my freedom of speech, my freedom of who I could speak to, and I was there to really be able to give a voice to many Palestinians, just to be able to hear, because I want Palestinians. My grandmother knows this. The majority of American people are not against their equality. The majority of American people truly believe that every single person that lives in Israel and the Palestinian territories should have, you know, freedom and justice and equality, just like we live up here, and we continue to fight for that. And I wanted to see her, and I wanted to wrap her with an American flag that was flown over the Capitol. I wanted her to feel that, and I wanted Palestinians to see that you do have someone that believes you, that you are going through a very painful occupation that is illegal, that is very militant, that is leading to death of children, leading to no access to water, to housing, to economic opportunities that we all, to this day, in our own neighborhoods here in Detroit, we fight for. They deserve that opportunity.
Was the intent here, though, to create a media?
No, I don't welcome this at all.
Not at all.
I want you to know I don't. It is really hard because people think that somehow it's not. When I was getting there, I intentionally didn't meet with, intentionally said, "Hey, I'm glad that we're not meeting with elected officials and not meeting with governments, but community members without titles." And why it was important to me is, like, when people come to Detroit, I said, you know, it's great, you want to meet with the mayor, but if you really want to know what's happening to people, come to the block clubs, come to groups that are doing things around poverty and around, you know, stopping the tax foreclosure and really trying to increase access to jobs. And if you look at that agenda, that's exactly what it was intended to do, is talk to people that, again, have never had a chance to talk to United States Congress members.
That's right. If I can speak to that, you know, just as the organizer of this event, you know, Midwest organizer with Jewish Voice for Peace, like, there's a lot of media here, and we're glad you came, but the main point is for, you know, our community to just be here and show up and show some love to our Congresswoman, because she's been treated extremely unfairly this week, and it is oppression to have travel restrictions placed based on your freedom of speech, and to have conditions placed on your travel that you can only say